I'm going to share with you today some solutions on how our Sidewinder sleeving system here can help reduce cost while improving equipment reliability on your hydraulic system. Typically what's found in industry, when you have hydraulic hoses, you generally cover them with a protective or an abrasion type sleeving or protective sleeving for safety. Some of the challenges that OEMs face or assemblers of this or users is that each one is sleeved individually. And if you have a long hose, and let's say you have a part that's maybe 10 feet long or 20 or 100 feet long, and just try to squirt that hose through this entire sleeve, it becomes very, very difficult and time consuming. Many times they'll be clamped off at the end with some type of a band clamp. The advantage of this, if one of these hoses goes bad, you just need to replace the one hose. Due to the fact that many pieces of equipment have more and more hydraulics today than they did maybe of years past, one of the common things you find out in industry is taking larger diameter of this tubular sleeving and lining or bundling hoses together. While this saves cost going into it, if you ever have to work on one of these hoses out in the field, and keep in mind these are probably going to be all dirty, if you have to replace one of these hoses, it becomes very, very time consuming to try to take this hose out without injecting or getting contamination in your hydraulic system. You have the option of cutting it off, putting a new sleeve on, which then you'd have to take all your hoses off to do that, or leaving maybe a damaged sleeve and a damaged hose protection and maybe individually sleeving another hose. What we've developed with our Sidewinder product is this is produced in a flat roll, and it comes in many, many different sizes. And this product here has special coatings, proprietary coatings that's on it, so it makes it very, very slippery to slide over like sharp edges on pieces of equipment. We have a patent pending on the product, and we have some unique features in here. We have some features where there's an adhesive in here that if anything gets cut, it doesn't come unraveled. We have redundant threads. We have more than 2 lines in each one, so if anything would fail, we have a redundant protection on there to keep it together. Our Python hook and loop is probably the most unique thing, as it's a very, very tenacious or very, very strong hook and loop. And the diagram you're going to see here will show how this hook and loop operates. What you can do is, when you have this sleeving, you can just cut it off to length. You don't need any special tools. You can take a good sharp scissors and you can cut right through there. And it cuts off nice and clean. And as this is folded or rolled over, this will become your cylindrical tube, just like your tubing here was, or your bundling tubing here if you're using single line tubing here. It's very, very easy to replace. To put on a hose assembly, a group of hoses, the nice thing about this is, let's say something happens to one of these hoses right here, we can take this sleeve off here, we can just replace the one hose, and then if the sleeve has been damaged or worn, we can just take a new sleeve, cut it off, and rewrap it out in the field. So your field service and installation becomes very, very important on this.